Hey designers, have you ever wished that you were more creative? Or maybe you were stuck on a design problem and wished that you could just whip up some more creativity to get you through it? Or maybe you just weren't satisfied with the end result of your design work. In this 3-part series, we've been looking at creativity, and the goal really is to help you improve your creative abilities wherever you're at on your design journey. In the last video, we explained what creativity was so you could really understand how it functions and give you the ability then to take control and command of it. And I'll link that video up here. In this video, we're gonna look at 5 books to help any designer grow their creative abilities and really give them some inspiration and confidence in moving forward. Hi, I'm John Diallo, and I'm here to help you improve your design and creative abilities. Let's dive in. The first book I want to recommend is The Design of Everyday Things by Don Norman. This is a fantastic book, and it's written really from a user experience perspective. What Don does in this book is actually really helpful to every designer. It frames design and design outcomes towards the end user, the person who's going to be consuming the product that you're designing and building. As a designer, then, this is super helpful because what it allows you to do is to focus on creating things that people want to use and creating things that you yourself might even want to use. And it inspires you, and the stories that Don uses in here are just really fantastic. They're really eye-opening, and they elicit a lot of an emotional response to us, which really gives us a lot of that drive as designers. The second book that I want to recommend to you is Creativity: The Flow and Psychology of Discovery and Invention. Now, this is actually a fantastic book. It's a little more of an educational read. It's not quite very storytelling or very powerful, but there are lots of case studies in this book that Mihaly actually uses as case studies, and they're very inspiring. But what is most powerful about this book is that it really unlocks our ability to understand how creativity functions in this world. Mihaly does a fantastic job in this book of just really laying out many different case studies, some really successful designers, what made them unique, what made them special, and how they were able to actually harness creativity and the different types of creativity that they were using across the industries. It gives us lots of great designers to model situations that we can sort of resonate with. This book has been very instrumental in understanding what creativity is and really how it functions in this world. And it's taken it really from this misunderstood sort of nebulous idea to a very concrete understanding. And Mihaly's work is fantastic, and I recommend that every designer be familiar with it. The third book that I want to recommend to you is actually Deep Work by Cal Newport. Now, this book isn't specifically about creativity, but it is something that creatives need to understand, that designers need to be able to do. And it's really about focus. It's about being able to put the distractions away and really allow your mind and your whole attention to be on the design problem that's at hand. And as designers, one of the things we need to be able to do is actually allow our minds to be wholly and intentionally focused on the design problems in front of us to really create the innovative type of work that's necessary to really be successful in our careers. Cal Newport is actually a fantastic author, and he lays out a bunch of stories and different scenarios of some of the most successful people in their industries, not necessarily design, but you can take the principles and the rules that he lays out for deep work, and we can apply them directly to the design industry and our work. And it really will help us as designers to focus on the solutions that we're creating every day to these gnarly design problems that are pretty difficult to solve for. The fourth book in our list is Creativity Inc. by Ed Catmull. Now, Ed actually comes from the Disney Pixar world, and he really brings a lot of the creative mojo and the creative background that it takes to be able to create these amazing Pixar movies that really win awards and sort of capture imagination. Now, one of the things that Ed does really well in this book is he actually lays out the tension that we have as designers. Designers really push for change, they push for vision and really huge, amazing ideas. And a lot of times there's concern, there's fear over the new, something exciting, something different, even something grand and huge. Ed actually breaks down a few key principles and a few of the most helpful things that we can do as designers to overcome the challenges of creating grand vision and collecting people around that and moving forward towards the best outcome. The final book that I want to recommend is actually a series of books, and it's by Austin Kleon, both Steal Like an Artist and Keep Going. Both of these are for people who are in the creative industry. These are actually 2 recent reads for me, and I actually picked them up based upon a recommendation of Ali Abdaal, who really broke down all 3 of the books in this series and how they've been meaningful and instrumental in his work. As a designer, I picked these up because I wanted to understand more about how to foster creativity in myself and in others. In Steal Like an Artist, the author actually lays out a lot of what we've been talking about on this channel as creativity really being a remix or a recombination of existing elements. In Keep Going, what he does is lay out a handful of really key principles that actually helps us to move forward and keep pushing no matter what situation we're in. When we feel like there's no creativity left to give, Austin gives us a few great ideas and a few tips and a few perspectives to help us keep going even in very challenging circumstances. So those are the 5 books that I wanted to recommend that every designer takes some time to slow down and actually read and to enjoy. These books give us a perspective on design and on creativity that we might not have elsewise. And it's great to actually see and hear of other stories and other situations that help us to know how to act, how to move forward, and how to learn from other designers. One of the most important things for us as designers is to always be learning, to always be taking in new information and gathering new experiences. This helps us fuel our creative abilities. It gives us more ideas and more data to make new connections in our mind. So if you found these recommendations helpful or they address any of the problems that you've experienced with creativity, make sure to hit that like button. And this is only the second video in our 3-part series on creativity. So if you're interested in getting the rest of the series or more videos to help you improve your design and creative abilities, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching. Go make something awesome.